Here we go. All right, we are recording. We are on Empowered Leaders. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know every week I say that, oh, this is my favorite call, blah, 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 whatever. It's one of them. It's one of my top, because every time I'm preparing for a call, like I can tell that it's going to change someone, even one person's life. If you're on this call, you're on this call right now because you want it to be worth your time, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure it is. But when I'm prepping for calls like this, and I just feel that rush of like, somebody else out there, even just one person on this call or one person who listens to the recording is going to be impacted by it the way that I was, worth it. Absolutely worth it. And if you're on this call and everything I'm talking about, you're like, yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. I'm set. I'm awesome. Somebody in your life is not. I would be willing to bet most people in your life are not excelling in these areas. And you can take this information to them, whether they're an Isagenix or not. What an amazing blessing that we have in this personal development company with a compensation plan, that we get to earn money while we learn how to be better versions of ourselves, and we get to go out and serve others, whether they're an Isagenix or not. We get to impact the world, and Isagenix is paying us to do it. So good. Okay. Yes, I did not have an e-shot today. No, that's a lie. I did. Never mind. Okay. So I know everyone's taking notes, and I love to guide you in your notes because I want you to have successful note-taking experience. That is one of my love languages. I'm very passionate about that. So on your piece of paper, whatever you're writing on, I want you to write the word confidence, but wait, write the word confidence, but I want you to write it in a way that you have room on either side of the word to jot a few things down, okay? So at the top of the page, maybe right in the middle, so you can write things on the left of the word and on the right of the word, okay? So write confidence somewhere in the middle of a page. Top, middle is fine, wherever, okay? You got it, Mama Della, just write it. It's cool. Okay. So write confidence, underline it, put a heart, whatever you got to do. I'm going to scroll through. I wish I could see more people's faces when I'm doing this. Okay. Think of someone who exudes confidence to you. This could be someone you know personally, a public figure, someone you've never met, a mentor, or even you. It can be you. And if you're a confident person, you will have no problem writing yourself down without feeling like you're bragging. Okay. It could be anyone, as long as they exemplify your vision of confidence. Okay. To the left of the word confidence, whichever way that is for you, I want you to write down why that person seems confident to you. I would encourage you not to use names, because this isn't about that. This is about what makes that person confident to you. What is it about their confidence you admire? Why would you define them that way, etc.? Just think about things like that. How would you describe this person because they're confident? And write that just to the left of the word confident. Okay, now I want you to think of someone who, to you, is an example of low confidence. Again, no names. That's not what this is about. Who, to you, exemplifies low confidence? And to the right of the word confidence, jot down some characteristics that make them that way to you. Okay, so you're just jotting down some adjectives, some examples, just a few things to the left of the word confidence. So describe someone who exemplifies that to you. And to the right of it, jot down some things that are the example of low confidence to you. Okay, again, I encourage you not to write down people's names because I want you to focus more on the characteristics rather than the person. All right, now somewhere to the right or to the left, or right in the middle, somewhere around that word confidence, where do you see yourself? Indicate that somehow, whether it's your name, a heart, 5 bazillion stars, however you want to do that. Indicate somewhere to the right or to the left or right in the middle, where do you feel you fall right now? Okay, now I want you guys to show me some hearts in the chat if you feel like you have room to grow in your confidence. Who feels like they have some room to grow in any area of your life, specifically in your Isagenix business? Show me some hearts in the chat if you feel you have room to grow in your confidence. Thank you, Amy and Lori and Scott. Thank you for your honesty. Oh, unicorn. Man, Scott's an overachiever. I love it. Okay, yes. Always room to grow. Amen. Okay. You guys, I listened to a training with John Maxwell over the weekend where he taught on confidence and how it impacts growth. Seriously, wow. Like I've listened to it maybe 10 times by now. Whether you already feel confident or you struggle immensely or you're anywhere in the middle, this information is tangible and it will help you really wrap your head around the value, how valuable this leadership trait is. Okay? And I don't know a single person, like as you guys are telling me right now in the chat, like look how many hearts, you guys. Look how many people want to grow more in their confidence. You are on a team of people who want to grow. That is a beautiful thing. Okay? Again, this information is tangible and it will help you really wrap your head around this valuable leadership trait of confidence. But confidence is not by itself. Confidence does not stand alone. It's part of a bigger picture of leadership that involves growing and courage and decisions. All things we're going to talk about, okay? So as you're formulating or as you're structuring your notes, we're going to talk about growth, we're going to talk about courage, decisions, and confidence. We're going to talk about all four because really he talks about how they all intertwine with each other. Now in this particular training, John talks about the overall characteristics of a good leader. And the one I'm going to focus on today is how leaders are growing. Okay, I'm going to give you some of the main points that John shares, and I've also sprinkled in some tangible interactions to help you translate the information into your own life and into your Isagenix business. Okay, so that's what I've been really working on the last couple of days is how can I take this and really give it to you in a way that you can apply to your business and to your life right now. Okay, you ready? I'm so excited. Okay. So let me double check. We're recording. We're good to go. Okay. So the first point on your notes is growth. We're going to talk about leaders who are growing. Okay. Now a great leader is always growing, but how do you know if you're growing? Think about this. Do any of the following sound like you? You have a hunger that makes you stretch. You are wiser today than yesterday. You're not afraid of change because growth is dependent on it. And you are addicted to growth. You are more concerned with being better than being perfect. And you're always looking for ways to improve yourself and others around you. Okay? That is a leader who is growing. And that is a great leader. Now, when I heard that list, I saw opportunities to grow. I saw all these things and I thought, okay, I do pretty well in this and I do pretty well in that. I feel good in this, but I want to be better. I want to be better. And so I took that list, and again, I hope that this is you guys too. Okay, I'm assuming so because I know that if I want to grow in my confidence, and all of you are telling me here that you do too, this information will apply to you. So I'd love to share with you how I translated these into my own notes to apply to my business. 1, be hungry. Be hungry, not just for the shakes, they're great, but like be hungry to grow. Be hungry for drive and direction and progress. Be hungry for all of those things that you know are going to make you better. Okay? And you compare, number 2, compare only to who you were yesterday. That's it. We say it all the time. Comparison is the thief of joy. Easier said than done, right? Throw some love in the chat if you are someone who struggles with comparison. I do. I struggle with comparison every day. But you have to work your mind. You have to work your mind your mind is a muscle. Every single day you have to work so hard. The second you feel yourself start to compare, you have to have a trigger to snap yourself out of it. You only compare to the person you were yesterday. That's it. Number 3, you embrace change because it means growth. Change equals growth. Change equals growth. Anytime something's changing and I'm like resistant, even if it's something small, I feel that resistance and that means I'm growing. But if I fight it and I stop and I stomp my feet and I pout about it, I'm not growing. I'm a whiny baby. And I live with a couple of toddlers. I know what stomping your feet and being irritated about something looks like. And that's not us as adults that are entrepreneurs that are wanting to thrive in our business and our legacy. Okay, embrace change because it means growth. The 4th one, progress, not perfection. We've heard these a million times before, right? Practice makes perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, don't focus on perfection, focus on progress. But truly, if you're making progress, you have to actively tell yourself, I made progress, that's a win. Even if progress seems this small, it's progress. Because why? Because who you are today after that small step is better than you were yesterday. after that small step. It's still better. You have to be okay with that. It's not going to be A to Z overnight. Okay, and then the fifth one, add value everywhere you are, even if you are the only one there. Now, when John made the point, always looking for ways to improve yourself and others around you, I heard that and I immediately felt like, add value. I'm like, oh, add value. We talk to people about it all the time. And as soon as I heard the words add value in my head, I immediately thought, that means you too. Anyone else struggle with adding value to your own life? Making yourself a priority, taking care of yourself first so you can take better care of others? Anyone? Yep, me too. Okay, so that's why I translated that for myself to say add value everywhere you are, even if you are the only one there. That is crucial, you guys, crucial. Okay, so these are all good things, right? But if you're anything like me, you crave more tangible ideas to apply to these ideals, and John delivers. All right, he gave a lot of time and energy on unwrapping these ideas to figure out where to focus. And so now we have 3 essential areas to focus your growth to be successful. So I'm going to give you 3 essential areas. Okay, so number one essential area to focus your growth to be successful, confidence. The whole title of this call, when he went through this confidence section, you guys, it was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. How often do we actually talk about confidence? And how often do we feel like we lack exactly what we need to take the steps we need to in this business? That all stems from confidence, okay? So he defines confidence as, well, confidence is important in 3 areas: yourself, in your vision, and in people. Self, vision, people. So in the chat, I'm curious, of those 3 areas, which do you have the most confidence in? Yourself, your vision, or in people? Most confidence. I'd love to hear it. Self, your vision, or people. Okay, so go ahead and throw that in there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to come back to that. Okay, so a few points about confidence that are important for you to know. When you have confidence in yourself, the result is people have confidence in you. You are their leader. Even if some of you are afraid to step into that leadership role, you are a leader. And leaders, the way to be an effective leader is to have influence. The way to have influence is for people to actually follow you, to see what you're doing, and you have to be able to do that by having confidence. Okay, people don't follow a title, they follow confidence, right? Isn't that so true? When I first started this, you guys, I didn't have the title. I mean, I had a title, but it wasn't like the title. Even now, I'm a 3-star Golden Circle. And saying that out loud is so surreal because I've had that written on my wall for over a year. And now that I've achieved it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just a title. It's amazing. Do not get me wrong, because it represents how many people I've been able to serve, but it's just the beginning. But I look at my team of amazing people, and why do I have them in my life? It's not because any of them were like, oh yeah, I want to lose some weight. Oh, and I heard you're a 3-star Golden Circle. I'm all about that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They follow confidence, you guys. That's what's important. And a confident leader gives people confidence. You want the people around you to have more confidence in themselves and in you and in their business and all of this. You need to start. You have confidence, and as a confident leader gives people confidence. That's how that works. Now, some would say that charisma makes someone a good leader, right? I've heard that so many times before. What makes a good leader? Oh, they have to be charismatic. They have to just be born that way, right? That's hogwash, you guys. Because what is the core of charisma? Confidence. And confidence comes from within. It's not something that is done to you. It's not something that you are just born with. Okay, if you knew my background, if you knew my whole life story, I could have chosen a very different path for myself. And no one would have been surprised. Nobody. But I knew God set me apart for something different. I had confidence in that, and I held on to that. So wherever you have the most confidence in your life, so let's go back and look at this. Okay, look at all these people. Caitlin, confidence in yourself is the highest. Jenny, in your vision. Deb and Scott and other people. Shri and self. Where do you have the most confidence? Hold on to that with all your might and build on that. It's okay to start there. I had to start somewhere. Okay, and in order to get where I am now, if you would have asked me 3 years ago, Would I be confident in all these areas? At the time, I did not feel that way. Today, I am. I feel very confident in all those areas. But it didn't happen overnight. But it did happen. Okay? All right. And the last point that he makes about confidence is that nothing sells like confidence. Once you truly know how you can add value to someone's life, you can sell anything. And yes, Isagenix is a part of that vision, but you're selling an idea. You're selling a vision, a story, a dream. You're vision casting for these people. That's selling them something. You are giving them a product and they are buying into it, even if it's an idea. Nothing sells like confidence. That's why it's so important. Okay, so
Can I just add something? I love what you're saying. You're amazing, Rachel. And I just want to encourage everybody to know that the beautiful thing of this, you're selling people on themselves. You're selling people on themselves. As you empower people and build into people's lives and build their confidence, their self-esteem, build their personal skills and develop them as leaders, you're selling them on themselves and their ability to create a big, amazing life, a life that God's planned for them and wants for them. But so many times we live so small. So if you get hung up on the idea of selling something, really what you're doing is you're selling people on themselves. You're empowering people to live a big life. That's all of our opportunity. So I love that. I thought it was awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so with confidence, some of you think like, okay, I have it or I don't. It's like, well, no, we all have it, but you have things inside of you that are killing your confidence. So I know many of you want to take your confidence to the next level, right? All of you do. This is why it's so important to understand what is killing your confidence so you can move beyond it. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 things that are killing your confidence. So these are like sub-points under confidence. Okay, confidence killer number 1 is low self-image. Low self-image. Now, what does that mean? You're like, well, aren't those the same thing? Low confidence, low self-image. Yes, they are. But one thing I want you to think about is this formula. I don't think I can comes from a deeper I don't think I am. And when John talked about this, you guys, it was like, bing. Do you see an opportunity for growth here? I don't think I can blank. That actually comes from a place of I don't think I am blank. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. For those of you who are open to growing in this area, I have a challenge for you. Tonight, I want you to write down a few things that you don't think you can do when it comes to this business. Be honest with yourself. What are the areas that you really struggle believing that you can actually do this skill or this aspect of the business, whether that's, think about the essential skills, connecting, follow up, all of that. But social media, I hear that all the time. Speaking in public, speaking in front of a room of people. List the things that you don't think you can do. Limit it to 3, okay? I don't want you guys to dwell on this, but I want you to do that. Think of like 3 things that you don't think you can do. And if you're comfortable, please put them in the chat because this is a safe place. This is a team that will not be on the recording, but I really want you guys to be open about this journey. Now, I want you to use this formula. This is a part of the challenge for tonight for those of you who are open to growing in this area. I don't think I can, and fill in whatever it is you wrote down, whatever skill it is that you wrote down. I don't think I can. And then I want you to translate that into, I don't think I am blank. What does it actually mean when you say, I don't think I can connect with people effectively? What are you actually saying about yourself? I don't think I am blank. Friendly, approachable, what is it? I'm going to give you a personal example. I don't think I can be consistent in this business. What that equates to in my life is I don't think I'm worthy of being successful. Okay? Do you hear the difference? And when he said this, it was like, oh my gosh, I say this to people all the time, but not as great as he said it. When people say, well, I'm just not good at this and this. I mean, some of you on this call know. I'm like, okay, ready? This is me digging. That's not what's really going on. What's really going on? No, really, what's going on? What is it really? But I love how he lays this out. It's so much more effective. I don't think I can blank equals I don't think I am blank. Okay? So use that formula, write out about 3 of those. And I want you to really understand the core of what's holding you back. You can do everything it takes to be successful in this business, but you won't because of a limiting belief you have about yourself. You have to find out what it is so you can move beyond it. Okay? And that's what this little exercise is going to do for you. Okay, so now self-image. Why is this a confidence killer? The less confidence you have in yourself, the faster you will give up trying for what you want. How many people have given up on this business at some point? Okay, I know on the recording you can't see that. A lot of hands, all right? If you have ever given up on this business, or quickly, if you're someone who gives up on things quickly, you get discouraged quickly, it's because you have low self-image. If you are someone who quits quickly, it's that lack of belief that you can actually do it, that you are what it takes to do this. Use that formula from before. Find out what really is limiting you in this. It's not, oh, I don't think I can connect with people. No, what is it really? You don't think you're what? What is it you don't think that you are? Once you find out what that is, it's going to be so much easier to move beyond it, you guys, I promise you, which is why I love The Big Leap. I love that book because that's exactly what it empowers you to do. Okay, the number 2 confidence killer. So this is like the second sub point under confidence. Fear. As soon as I said that F word, some of you were like, ah, that's me, but don't say the F word because I'm afraid of it. Or some of you are like, embrace it, like, yep, I'm afraid of everything. I've owned it by now. Okay, fear. The confident person isn't always right, but they don't fear being wrong. So many of you hold yourself back because you're afraid of failing, because you're afraid of being wrong. Well, if I go talk to that person, what if I say the wrong thing? What if you say the right thing? What if you say the wrong thing and it doesn't matter? They're like, oh my God, did you really just say shake to me? I just got done talking to my wife about how I want to start doing a meal replacement shake. You have no idea. Or maybe you go up there and you screw it all up and they don't want what you're talking about. You don't get their information and you walk away. And what did you learn? You cannot lose. You only learn. Is that cheesy? Yeah, but it's true. Okay, I'm getting fired up already. Okay. So the confident person isn't always right, but they don't fear being wrong. I am so much more confident in myself today than I have ever been in my entire life. And when I'm wrong, when my husband can attest to this, I don't like being wrong, but when I am wrong, I like to own it. I like owning when I'm wrong because it feels good. Once you have been to that place where you own, like, okay, yeah, I could have done that better, or this, that, or the other. Once you get to that place where you're able to actually say that out loud and realize how good it feels and how safe it actually is when you're confident, you guys, you'll be walking around like, oh yeah, I'm wrong. It's okay, I'm wrong. Oh yeah, no, I could have done that better. It's okay. But owning that confidence is so empowering, you guys. And confidence, I love this part. When he talks about fear, confidence releases the risk associated with any situation. If you're confident and you walk into a situation, there is no risk. There's no risk because you walk in and you know, like, okay, no matter what happens, I'm okay. If this person rejects me, they're not rejecting me, they're rejecting themselves. And I know that because I'm confident in myself. It releases the risk in any situation. And so many of you are holding yourself back because you're afraid of whatever risk is attached to any situation that you're in. Okay? All right. And then I'll make sure. Okay. So one way to move beyond the fear is to share your confidence with others. We're always talking to you guys about adding value, adding value. When people are around you and they're timid about something, put your arm around them and let them borrow your confidence until they have your own, or till they have their own. And this could be like a hypothetical put your arm around. Don't go put your arm around a stranger who seems like they're uncertain about something. That might be weird. But like hypothetically, just scoop that person up and really let them borrow your confidence in them until they have their own. So many of you said that you have the most confidence in other people, more than yourself or your vision. You have confidence in other people. You need to go out there and use that confidence, build on that confidence by adding value to others who are not confident in their own self, in their own vision, in their own lives. Scoop them up, walk alongside them until they have their own confidence. This is not me giving you permission to fix people's lives or take on projects. People are not projects, okay? If we treat them that way, they will act that way. But I'm telling you, you have so much power inside of you to pour value into other people, but you have got to put it into practice. What is the area you're most confident in? Start there, build on that. Okay, now notice I did not give you a solution to rid your life of fear, right? Because we need fear to thrive in life. It's essential. Without fear, we wouldn't have the opportunity to overcome things and grow into relentlessness and successful people. If you want to be a relentless person, you want to have tenacity and grit, you have got to have fear and you have got to be able to overcome it. If you have no fear in your life, if you have no uncertainty, where's your job security as a leader? When there's uncertainty, you need a leader. That's our job security. You get to come in and you get to help people grow into that. It's amazing. Okay, the third confidence killer. Other people's opinions of you. Let's hear it in the chat. When I say this, who's like, oh yeah, that's me? Other people's opinions of you kills your confidence. Amy, thank you for your honesty. Yes. So you guys, okay, is this the one you guys are hilarious. Yes, people are like going nuts over here in the chat. Other people's opinions of you. When you have more confidence in their opinion than you do in your own, you are handing them your shredded confidence on a platter. That's what you're doing. And since when did you feel so low in your self-image that you let someone else walk into your life and trample all over you? When did that happen? And you need to stop. You guys, you have so much more worth. So much more worth. But you have to examine that so you can move beyond it. Okay? Other people's opinions of you, that also is stemming from fear and it's stemming from low self-image. Have you guys noticed that all three of these confidence killers, I would be willing to bet that if you have one of them, you have all of them. Okay? Look at these different things. Look at this information. And I'm going to post my notes from this call in Evernote. Go get Evernote. But I will make sure you guys have the notes from these calls that I do because this is so important for you to be able to go back and just really see the heart behind it. If you have one of these confidence killers, you probably have all three. Would you agree with that? Okay. I'm going to shift from confidence a little bit and I'm going to go into the second essential area to focus for your growth. So remember, there are 3 essential areas to focus on for your growth. The first one was confidence, and the second one is courage. Courage, you guys, this is defined as the willingness to let go of the familiar. Can you say hey to your uncomfortable zone? Hey, uncomfortable zone. All right, I know people on our team, and I've loved watching them grow where every single day they are in their uncomfortable zone and they fight it and they are like gritting their teeth and they're like, Rachel, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And they kick and scream the whole way through. But then they get to the other side and they realize, oh wait, this feels okay. Oh, because now I'm in my comfortable zone again because I'm growing. My comfort zone is growing. And now I got to move further outside of it to grow even more. And it's exciting to them now. It's addicting. Remember, being addicted to growth, that is a sign of a great leader. Okay, for those of you who live in fear and you make decisions based on fear, you know who you are. You are living in your comfort zone. You want courage? You need to let go of what is familiar that you know is not serving you. If there are things in your life, relationships in your life, decisions in your life that you make, that you're a part of every day, and you know, okay, if you've ever said this to yourself, okay, I'm going to stop doing that thing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to stop doing that thing, or I'm going to stop pouring so much into that person who's just tearing me down. And then you find yourself getting sucked back in. If you do that, you are not growing into your courage. You cannot have courage and live where you are familiar. It is the opposite of courage, okay? So I want to give you a few wisdom bombs from John Maxwell because when he talked about courage, it was like I had my hands in the air. I was like preaching. It was awesome. It was amazing. Okay, so wisdom bombs from John Maxwell. What you have known and what you have done hinders you from what you can become. I'm going to say that again. Really think about this. What you have known and what you have done hinders you from what you can become. Okay, did you hear that? If you're living where you're familiar and where you're comfortable, you cannot become more. If you refuse to get out and grow out of what is holding you back, is holding you in the place you don't want to stay, you will not grow. And that is not where courage is fostered. And you need courage in order to be able to do all these other things in your life. Okay, so you have to be able to make a list, you guys. Make a list. What are you living in that's familiar to you? What are you doing every day, every week that you know is not serving you, that is wasting your time, wasting your energy, and it's keeping you where you don't want to stay? Financially, with your health, with your relationships. You know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Make a list of those things and pray over them. How are you going to, one tiny decision at a time, how are you going to cleanse that from your life? Okay, and find someone who can hold you accountable, someone who loves you, that you can have this conversation with, that you trust. Okay? All right. The other, oh my gosh, we've all heard this quote before, right? Life expands or shrinks in proportion to your courage. That's John Maxwell. Life expands or shrinks in proportion to your courage. Are you living in a small world? Are you fighting to get out? You want to just break through it, but you can't because your courage is small. You guys, you have to have courage before you can have confidence. Okay? Courage is taking the step. Confidence is knowing, like, oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that because I've been doing it, right? Okay, now one single act of courage can change the entire course of your future. And you may never know the ripple effect, which is so exciting, especially in this business. You touch one person's life, and then 6 months down the road, they're like, oh, by the way, I shared with my neighbor, and then they want to share with like 10 more people. You never know. And that's just one example. We learned so much that we can create such massive momentum in the world based on what Isagenix gives us every single day. It's amazing. Okay, now for those of you who live in fear, courage is not waiting for your fear to go away. I hope some of you wrote that down. Courage is not waiting for your fear to go away. That uncertainty about the future is not going to go away. Remember what I said earlier? Uncertainty is job security for a leader. Uncertainty means that there is a need for a leader. And when we have uncertainty, it's an opportunity to grow and get beyond it and grow ourselves and be a different person. There were so many things I did 10 months ago when I really decided to launch my business, like actually made a decision to get outside my comfort zone, do a 20 and 30, really just pour my heart and love and soul and everything into it. And when I made that decision to do that, and I'm like, I don't care what it's going to take, I'm not looking back. I'm just going to run. I'm going to go do it. And everything's different. Everything's different. Not just my rank, you guys, not just my income. Who I am as a person, who my husband is, what our family's becoming, the options that we have, it's all changing because of courage. Because I had the courage to make that step and say, I'm going to do it. That courage came from me being fed up with spinning my wheels every day. So if you spin your wheels and you're fed up with where you're at in life right now, 20 seconds of insane courage, pick a decision that you're like, oh my God, I know that will help me, but I'm too afraid to do it. And then just be like, okay, I'm going to have 20 seconds of insane courage. And I'm just going to take the first step and just see what happens. And then you may not be able to stop it. You may not be able to stop that momentum. That's what I did with the 20 and 30. I committed. I created a Facebook group. I told everyone I was doing it. And that terrified me because I'm like, well, what if I fail? And we enrolled 18 people. And that just created this incredible momentum that has taken us through the last 10 months. Okay, I digress. You guys, courage. Okay, I could talk about courage all day. All right. Now, for those of you who are waiting on certainty to take a step, courage gets people to move, not certainty. How many people feel like they're waiting to be certain? I'm just waiting until I know I'm going to do it right. I'm just waiting until it's like, okay, I'm certain that I'm going to be good at this. Okay? I know I can, and I love him, so I'm going to call him out. This is something that Jeff and I talk about a lot. He struggles with wanting to feel so certain about something before he takes a step. And he knows, gosh, you guys, he knows better. He knows that that's not actually going to get him where he wants to go. But courage gets people to move, including you. Courage will get you to move, not certainty. Where has certainty gotten you so far? In the same place you were a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago? Waiting to be certain is going to keep you stagnant. Courage is going to get you moving, and courage is what creates that certainty. I promise, you guys, I promise you. That is the order that it goes in. But if you allow fear to be a speed bump, you will be okay. Do not let fear be a stop sign. Fear can be a speed bump. That is okay. If fear slows you down, but then it propels you forward, awesome. But if you're allowing fear to be a stop sign, you will not be successful. You can't. You will feel stagnant. You will feel stuck. And we don't want that for you. Okay? All right. Faith and fear. Faith and fear, whichever is stronger in any given situation. that is the one that will win. You have to feed your faith and starve your fear. Okay, so think about that. Every situation you're in, you start to feel fear. You stop and you make a choice. Do I want to be afraid or do I want to have faith? You guys, literally, it's a decision. It's all up here. You are so much more powerful up here than you even know. Do I want to be afraid of this or do I want to have faith? And if you choose faith and take that step, it's one decision, faith over fear. Hey, look at the shirt I'm wearing. It says faith over fear. I didn't even plan that. Lori Brent got me this shirt. Perfect. So fitting. It's one decision. Now I'm like so jacked up, you guys. I love when stuff like that happens. One decision, faith over fear. And then one step. What is the direction that you need to go in? Act on the courage. Even if you're like, I don't have courage though. If you can physically take the step in the right direction, that is courage. 20 seconds of insane courage. And then you can go back to being afraid. But guess what? You're one step closer. Right? That is how you let fear be a speed bump, not a stop sign. Okay? One step closer. All right. The next point about courage I want to make. Courage is the door that can only be opened from the inside. I said this earlier. Courage is not, nobody can do this for you. I can't say, hey, Amy, here you go. Boop, push a button. Now you're not courage for days, Amy. No, I can stand there and I can pour value and love and belief into Amy, and I can look at her and I can say, Amy Evans, you are amazing and I adore you. But Amy has to go inside herself and make that decision to open the door to courage. Courage is a door that can only be opened from the inside. That's it. I cannot open that door for you. Your best friend can't open that door for you. They can knock so you know where it is. They can say, hey, Della, come on, it's over here. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. But you stare at that doorknob and you don't turn it and you don't walk through, that's on you. Courage is a door that can only be opened from the inside. Okay? I want to empower you that you can do that. Okay. With that, courage is a door. Imagine the door. Are you seeking approval from other people over your own self? Are you willing to make easier choices if it's more popular, even if it's not what's right or best? Those are the things that are going to keep your door closed. Okay? Now, you won't get there overnight, like I said, but you will get there. Because your job right now is to help people, not make them happy. Help people, not make them happy. Helping them will make them happy, but making them happy is not always helping them. Does that make sense? Help people first, the happiness will come. If you're just trying to please others, that will bite you in the butt. It will keep that door closed. Now, courage is the most important of all virtues because without it, you can't practice any other virtue with consistency. And what is that big C word that all leaders talk about on stage? Consistency. Consistency. If you don't have consistency in your business, you will just stop, start, over and over and over again. Okay, remember mine? I don't think I can be consistent with this business. What that actually equates to is I don't think I am worthy of being successful. I have to practice consistency in every single thing that I do. And in order to do that, I have to have courage. Anyone can start something. How many of you have started something and not finished it? How many of you have started building this business, but not actually followed through or been consistent for more than a day or a week or a month? Because you're lacking courage. Okay? Courage is important because without it, you cannot practice any other virtue with consistency. Okay? The last point about courage. You want to build a strong team? You have to take steps in courage every day to do so people know who to follow. Remember what I said earlier, people don't follow titles, they follow competence. They follow courage. People will follow those traits because they trust them and because they want it for themselves. They're like, gosh, I want to feel good about myself. I want to have confidence. I want to be courageous. Oh my gosh, look at that person. They're confident. They're courageous. I'm going to follow them. That is how you attract the right people into your business. My business exploded when I finally took the step in the right direction and I had courage and I did my 20 and 30 and I just said, whatever happens, happens. I'm going for it. And I would not look back. And I'm going to do another one this fall. You have to have that courage. Take one step, then another, then another. Courage is not, okay, I'm going to jump from A to Z. No, that's unrealistic. Courage is just taking that step, running for it, one step at a time. Okay, the third essential area of focus, and I'm going to blaze through this one a little bit because I know we're running low on time. Okay, third essential area of focus, decision making. Decision making. Does anyone ever feel fear or uncertainty in making decisions? Let's just throw it in the chat. Give like a yeah or an emoji or something. Do you ever feel fear or uncertainty when you're making decisions in any area of your life, but specifically with your Isagenix business? How about paralyzed? Does anyone ever suffer from analysis paralysis, where you're like, oh my God, I got to make this decision. And you sit there and you think about it and you think about it and you think about it, and you're analyzing it so hard that you don't do anything about it. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to go back to John Maxwell's training. He shared 5 decisions that changed his life. 5 things that he has to make quality decisions about every single day that have completely changed his life. And he's the #1 leadership guru in the world, you guys. So I would listen. Okay, the first decision that he makes for himself, ministry decisions. He wants to attempt things so big that if they are successful, only God can get the credit. Is that what kind of life you're living? I'm not. When I heard that, I was so inspired. I'm like, gosh, I'm making big enough decisions for my business to like take steps up the ranks for sure. However, am I making decisions in my life and in my business that if it actually worked, literally only God could get the credit for it? That's how big we should be living. That's how we're designed to live. What is an area in your life? Do you have a vision for your business? I think it was like Pamela Barnum or somebody was like, I want to create 100 millionaires. And when I heard that, I'm like, 100 millionaires? Like 100 millionaires on your team. No, personally enrolled millionaires. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I actually thought this in my head and I adore her. And then I caught myself and I'm like, well, even if she doesn't get 100 millionaires before the end of her life, she's probably gonna have a lot more than I am because I don't have that vision at all in my realm. I'm just like trying to create 3 stars, which is still great. But you guys, have a big vision for your business, for your life. What is your mission? Mine is full-time family. My financial vision with this business is full-time family. My physical vision with this business is mom body, strong body. But what does that mean? Do I want to personally help 500 families be financially free? Why the heck not? Because if I accomplish it, only God can get the credit for that. There's no way I, as a human being, could even fathom accomplishing that, which means I should have that as a vision. Right? So that's a ministry decision that he makes. Okay? And he says this, there are times I feel called to lead farther than I have walked. Is that courage or what? Is that confidence? Do you see how these are all tying together? There are times I feel called to lead farther than I've walked. That is the kind of ministry that we need to be leading with this Isagenix business. Okay, go farther than you have walked. Always be looking farther. Okay, the second decision, personal growth decisions. So he will intentionally grow every single day. And he tells himself this every day, and I love this. It's like one of his mantras. I will intentionally grow every day, and I will develop my strengths. Simple. I will intentionally grow every day, and I will develop my strengths. Okay? So that means a couple of things. Are you willing to admit that you're wrong because of your desire to grow and change? Is that a way that you can grow? Think about it like that. If you're not willing to grow, you're unwilling to leave what you have known and practiced. Okay, you're not willing to admit wrong to discover what is right. Do you really want to know what is right and true in this world and in your business and in yourself? You have to be able to admit when you are not right, when you are wrong. But if you're not willing to admit that, if you're not willing to admit wrong to discover what is right, you will cling to what is right, but then your life turns out wrong. And when John said that, I'm like, that's so true. How often do we cling to what we think is right, what we know is right in that moment, that we've known what is right for the last 10, 20 years of our lives, but then our lives, we look around and we're like, wait, but our life isn't right. It's not where I wanted it to be. You have to be able to admit when that isn't working, when that isn't right, and then move on from it. It's one thing to admit this isn't working for me, But how are you going to take that action? What is the courageous step that you're going to take towards confidence in yourself, your vision, and people around you? What is that one step for you? Okay, the next decision that he makes, partnership decisions. Partnership decisions. I will first help others get what they want and need, and then they will help me do the same. It's like that law of compensation from the Go-Giver. Your income is determined, sorry, I wish I had it memorized. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. You want to grow your income in Isagenix? Go serve some people. Who can you add value to? Who can you serve? Be so others focused that you can't even focus on what you're afraid of or how low your self-esteem is. Have you noticed that's the common thread amongst all of these? You want to have more confidence? Pour confidence into other people. You want to be better at making decisions? Make decisions about the people you surround yourself with and who you're going to partner with. The partnership decision is so important because you surround yourself with people that you can add value to, and they will do the same. But you know the people that will reciprocate and the people that will not. And you're not going out there to do something because you're expecting something in return. It's a partnership. Okay? Equal, love, pouring value, working together towards a common goal. Okay? Ask yourself this question. Are you a ladder climber or a ladder builder? Oh my God, when he said this, you guys, I was already thinking in my head, visualizing someone who just is like, oh, there's someone's ladder. I'm going to climb up it faster than them. Or are you someone who builds your own ladder and you help everybody do the same? And you put your ladders against the same wall, which is Isagenix, and you help everyone line their ladders up right next to you, and you all go up those ladders together. Are you a ladder climber or a ladder builder? Climbers feel lonely as they become successful. Builders complete others instead of competing with them. Are you completing other people in your life, or are you competing with other people in your life? And let me tell you this, if you are comparing yourself to other people, you are competing with them. Anytime I feel myself start to compare to someone else, I will reach out and love on them. If I see someone's rank advance and I'm like, dang it, we started at the same time. I should have rank advanced too. I stop and I send them a Facebook message and I'm like, I'm so proud of you. I love what you've done. Oh my gosh. I'm like, you're amazing. Praise God for you. Okay, you have to be a ladder builder, not a climber. Okay, the last decision that he makes are his relationship decisions. Okay, those who are closest to him will love and respect him the most. Okay, so that doesn't mean that the people who are closest to you now, you need to make them love and respect you. Naturally, the people who are actually closest to you will love and respect you the most. Okay, now he does caution against this, and this is something that speaks to my upper limit. Success will create a gap between yourself and others. But you have to close that gap because you don't want to have fans, you want to have friends. That is why this is a relationship business. You want to have friends, not fans. You have to build that relationship so that you're closing the gap between you and other people, the more your success grows. And if you have the same upper limit I do, which is where you're afraid of outshining other people, you're afraid of being disloyal and you're afraid of abandoning your roots because you didn't grow up in this $1 million home or $1 million family. If you have that same kind of fear like I do, just build relationships with these people. Don't even talk to them about Isagenix unless they bring it up. Build relationships. That's how you close that gap. Show them you're still a human. That is so important. Okay? And when you reach people, they will reach others beyond your reach. That is how we impact the world. I can't impact all 7 billion people, but I can impact as many as I dang well can in my lifetime, however long that is. And if I add so much love and value into you that you're overflowing with it, you better turn around and go add it to somebody else. Don't pour it back into me. I mean, a little bit, we keep that relationship going, but turn around and pour it into other people. That's why this business is so amazing. That's why network marketing is such a gift, and why it just pisses me off when people are like, oh, you're one of those pyramid things where you just take advantage of people. And I'm like, bap! I don't hit people, but still, I want to. I mentally hit them. No, because if they actually knew what this was, do you ever just want to okay, side tangent. Do you ever just want to shake people when they give you that oh, is that one of those things? It's like, yeah, it's one of those things where I bless somebody so much that they turn around and bless other people so much, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we have tens of thousands of people going to Vegas in about 19 days, and we're all the healthiest, happiest, freaking amazing people in the world. Okay, side tangent over. Anyways, that's the decision-making piece of it, okay? So I want to wrap this up. I'm going to give you just a few takeaways, just some things that, like, as I was putting this all together, I was like, these are the things that they just have to put into action, have to write down for themselves, have to really just get from it, okay? And when I say have to, you don't have to. I want you to, though, because I did. Courage is a result of confidence, okay? Or sorry, confidence is a result of courage. It's both. It goes both ways. You need to take that courageous step in order to feel good about the step that you took. You will not have confidence in yourself if you're not in action. If you're not having those courageous moments with yourself, how are you ever supposed to know what you're capable of? How are you ever supposed to know what you're confident in? Okay? You have to take those steps. Just pick one thing. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed by it. Pick one thing you're going to shift. Just one. How are you going to get outside of your comfort zone today? And then just do it. Have someone hold you accountable, but just do it. Okay? And then difficulties. So many people talk to me about difficult things that are going on in their lives, and I'm so sorry. Here's what I will tell you, though. Difficulties don't defeat us. Our lack of confidence does. Okay? When people talk to me about difficult things in their lives, what I want them so badly to understand is, without making it about me, I want to say, I wish I could just show you all the difficult things I've had in my life. And maybe someday I'll post a video of my story or something. I don't know, but I just want you guys to understand, for those who have not known me outside of Isagenix, you may not know the whole story. If you know even a small part of Cindy's story, you probably know a little bit of mine too, because we're family. But life has not just been amazing. I didn't just come into the world confident and on fire and ready to change lives. God knew I was. But I was not born into a situation that would have fostered success. Difficulties do not defeat us. Lack of confidence does. If you feel defeated, it's because you lack confidence, not because your life is hard. It's because you lack confidence in how you can handle it. Okay, and I say that with so much love. I wish some of you right now are feeling emotional when I just said that, and I wish I could give you the biggest hug right now. Okay, and if that's you and you're feeling emotional, you're feeling discouraged, but not discouraged, but you're feeling like, oh my God, that's me, and I just want to feel that so bad, I'm defeating myself, put it in the chat. Let us love on you. Okay? Some of you know this very well. If any of you are showing lack of confidence in front of me, I will, oh man, I'm like, everyone time out and pour love on that person immediately, because that is not okay. Difficulties will not defeat you. Your lack of confidence will. Okay? And I love this. Confidence is saying yes and figuring the rest out later. Say yes, figure the rest out later. We've been saying this on our team calls for months, and when John Maxwell said it, he's like, oh, I say yes to people all the time. I mean, okay, yes, don't say yes to everything. You do have to create boundaries, say no. But what he means is, if there's an opportunity and he knows, he's like, that would be really cool, and I definitely want to be someone who can do that for you, but I don't know how to do it. He just says yes, and he's like, well, I better go watch some YouTube videos. I better go figure it out. That is courage. That's courage, you guys. That is how you become a leader. Do you know how many times I've said yes to doing something and I'm like, I don't actually know how to do that, but I can figure it out because I have confidence, because I'm courageous enough to admit that I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. Courage and confidence. Say yes, figure it out later. The only reason that you're not doing that is because you don't believe in yourself enough to think that you're going to actually figure it out. Put that aside, you guys. That is not okay. Have the courage. Have the courage to just figure it out. Try it one time and just see what happens. You guys will be so shocked at what you're capable of. Okay? This is perfect timing because I'm going to wrap up this call. And apparently it's my son's bedtime. But I hope you guys found value in any of this information because I have absolutely loved sharing it with you. And again, I just gave you all the surface level stuff because I wanted to keep it to an hour, and we're right at an hour. We started about 15 after. So I want to give time for conversation and questions. I will go ahead and I'll stop the recording so that people can feel like we can really have a conversation about this. But truly, courage, confidence, decision-making. If you can really hone in on those skills, those are 3 essential areas to focus on to really step into your leadership, to really step into your growth. And the sign of a great leader is growth. All right? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for letting me share this with all of you. My son's going to stop the recording on his own. Hey, no touchy, please. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And so if you caught the recording, thank you so much for being on. And then the rest of us can have a quick conversation about it.